Hi, this is Jonathan Musser from BackyardGardeningSolutions.com. I am going to rehydrate 2 blocks of cocoa fiber for my grow bed, my 4x4 grow bed, and I'm going to use a stock tank. I found this at Tractor Supply, and it works perfect. I like it. It's $69.99. I don't know if you can see that. It's upside down, but this is what I'm going to use to mix my cocoa fiber in. I like it. It's durable. It's heavy. When the shovel hits it, doesn't hurt it. So this is what I'm going to use to rehydrate 2 blocks of cocoa fiber for our raised bed gardening kit. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the water. I'm going to put 6 gallons of water, and you can see here they're pretty full. We have some rainwater, so that's why it's a little greenish, but it'll be fine. If you don't have rainwater, then you can use city water that's unchlorinated. Just put a filter on the end of it. We have RV filters at BackyardGardeningSolutions.com. But I'm going to do this. I'm going to put the water in first into this container, and we'll show you the next step. First thing I'm going to add to my water before I put my cocoa fiber in, and I like to add the additions to the water before I put my cocoa fiber, so when my cocoa fiber is rehydrating, it actually sucks in these additives. And again, I've got about 6 gallons of water in here. I'll start with that, and then if I need to add more, I will. But I've got my 16 ounces of worm castings. If you have more, you can add more. It really doesn't matter, but I've got about 16 ounces in here. I just dumped it into my can, and I'm going to dump it into the water, and I'm going to stir that around. That's number 1. Number 2, I'm going to put 8 ounces of dried molasses in here. And again, we'll stir all this up when it's all in. Third, we're going to do a special blend of our compost. We're going to do the whole bag, all 16 ounces. I'm going to put in 1 tablespoon of inoculant. Mix that in later. And I'm going to do 2 accelerator packets. This is not in the mix, but I'll throw this in for free. I just personally throw about a cup of Epsom salt in there. You can get Epsom salt from us, BackyardGardeningSolutions.com. We have amazing grade Epsom salt, or you can just get it at your local store. The last thing I'm going to do is stir in all the ingredients. Again, this is 6 gallons of water, rainwater, worm castings, our compost, accelerator, inoculant, Epsom salts, molasses, and I'm just going to stir it in. I'll stir it for about 2 minutes. Okay, I just put in 2 new blocks of cocoa fiber. Our premium cocoa fiber is very fibrous, so it's right now it's sucking in all the nutrients. It's not sandy like a lot of the cheap cocoa fibers out there. I'm going to watch the water. I'm going to watch the cocoa fiber for the next 30-45 minutes. If I think it needs more, I'll put some more in there. But I'm looking for a certain consistency, and I'll show you what that looks like. These have rehydrated a lot, obviously, as you can tell. And this is just the amazing thing of cocoa fiber. So I'm just going to take my shovel and just kind of, scrape off and get this stuff into the water so it can all get wet and absorb all these nutrients. You can see it just breaks off in there. Oops. So I'll stir it up, kind of turn it a little bit like that. Sorry, I can't do much with one hand, but that's what we'll do, and I'll show you what the right consistency is here. I might add some more water here in just a little bit, but I'll show you as we go along. You want to get this dry core wet into the water, and you see how there's water in there, so just keep turning it until you get it all into that water, and that's how all the nutrients are going to get into that cocoa core. There shouldn't be any, once it's done fully, there shouldn't be any of this left right here. Like this is a dry chunk. I don't know if you can see it, but you want it all to be wet and infused with that all those goodies that we put in there earlier. Okay, it's been about 40 minutes, and you can see most of this has been rehydrated. And I got all of this out of 2 blocks. I don't see any dry, but I do see some water. So you don't want any water in there because it gets too mushy. So what I would recommend is just leave it until all the water soaks into the cocoa. So just keep, every 15 minutes or so, just keep turning it. And sooner or later, the water will evaporate. Or you can, sit it out in the sun. Make sure if you see any chunks like this, any light chunks, that you get it into the water. But just keep turning it until the water is gone. Okay?